somebody, I'm trying to think of who it is, what's the name of the agent that is the horse?
Lauren Haney.
Excuse me, she has a client who's looking for a horse.
She sold the house to one of my agents.
Well, you have horse farm.
No,
Oh,
no, Fran is a horse girl.
I have someone looking for a,
I don't know.
she's human, and she's not a
Yeah.
but she's looking for horses. We put horses.
okay.
Got anything?
No, I
Fighting
have
horses.
people left over from the sale I had. Wanted horse farm.
Heather, can you hear us?
And they don't anymore.
Yes, I can
No,
now.
they sold.
Oh, they own the horse.
Yeah, but then there were lots of people that came that were looking for a horse farm. I'm saying I have contacts from those people. But
Yeah, I'm trying to find something, because her price point is not that great. That's what it's all.
Let me just make sure. These better not.
I don't know why I do it, it's good. Every day.
I was gonna say, if
So.
you're full, why-
I'm just not a hot drink person usually.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like sitting and eating breakfast, I like.
I have my coffee, hot coffee in the morning,
Yeah.
and when I go out, this seems, I drink it much more slowly and.
Oh. I don't know.
Stop it, I know.
Huh? Charlie, how are you?
Hello, Mr.
Oh, I forgot my notes. Sorry. No, you're so cute. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it.
Poor baby.
Does he get all matted? My poor baby is all
Yes.
matted.
Mhm.
I have a little big Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Waiting to get a dog till we move, and then I can get a dog again.
I know, it's cute. He's changed, Charlie, come on, he's changed, he's got a lot of, what's the other one?
Irish.
Irish setter, yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, I just came to you because you were walking on my heel.
Close this so that.
Thank you.
Retrieve. Now, you gotta put all those little stickers.
I know.
I have to put like that removable wallpaper at the bottom of all the doors. Hey, are you co-presenting? What did you learn from family reunion, Charlie?
My mom went away.
Yeah, it was terrible. Charlie and I had very different experiences the week of family reunion. I had a great experience. Charlie, not so much. Yeah, we were very sad. And it was very cold.
You didn't cozy up to mom? Grandma?
No,
Really?
I mean, no,
I thought he,
he's very loyal. He's a one gal guy. I'm your person, huh? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay, so. Anyway, thank you all for coming to my class today on my family reunion 25 takeaways. So I am curious why, other than the amazing presenter, why you are here. What are you hoping to gain out of this?
What is the topic? Thank you, Joe.
No, no.
I'm sorry.
I don't know either.
Anything family reunion is good, I'm glad, but I'd like to know.
I'm here because I can't afford to go to family reunion, so I wanted to get takeaways.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Well, Heather Ayat may have some ideas on how family reunion can be affordable for all of us for next year.
Who am I?
Heather Ayat, who
I
is in
sure
charge of, who's on our, she's there. Heather, you're like a voice in my dream, like I hear you, but I don't really hear you.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear it.
No, I'll turn it up. She's on the ALC, and one of her big rocks or big things that she's working on this year is making sure everyone knows about and has access to family reunion because it was so impactful for her last year that she wants others to be able to have that same experience this year. Did I do that well, Heather?
Absolutely, 100%.
Great. So what is this on? Great question. So I went to Family Reunion. Family Reunion is Keller Williams International Conference. It's held every February. It was in Las Vegas this year. Next year it's going to be in Atlanta. So nice to return to the East Coast. And when I went, before I went, so Family Reunion is several days of speakers and breakout rooms and large rooms and lots of opportunities to learn on broad topics as well as on smaller topics. And so there's masterminds, there's panels from some of the best agents in the world. We had over 50 nations that were represented.
Cool.
Yeah, and so it was pretty awesome to be a part of that. So one of the things that my coach suggested that I do before I go was to pick a major, which I liked because it was college-y. And so I decided to pick a major of growth for the Market Center. And so a lot of the classes and the breakouts that I did were around growth for the Market Center, which is great, and I loved it. And that doesn't necessarily translate to things and takeaways that might be helpful for you guys. So I kind of had a little bit of a hard time figuring out exactly what I wanted to talk about today because the things that I focused on may not necessarily be applicable to your everyday lives as agents. So I kind of took a step back and I did, what I decided to do is talk about 3 of the larger speakers who we had and talk about what I gained from their talks, which I thought were really awesome. And Heather, since I knew that you were joining us, I decided to do 2 of the 3 from a session that was that very, very first day that you weren't able to make it to, so that it could be new-ish, hopefully for you as well. So
Excellent.
this is my PowerPoint, because I want to stay organized. Okay, so I broke today's class down into 3 sessions, 3 different sections. So Sean Cannell is the first one, and he talked about social media. Jay Bear is the second one, and he talked about 15%. We're going to go into all these in more detail. And Roy Baden talked about multipliers.
I've heard him, I've never seen him.
He's
I would
great.
never have thought that he looked like.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He's a shark dresser.
yeah, he's a great
Attractive man.
speaker.
He is. He spoke last year at Family Reunion as well, and I really enjoyed him. And so I've been kind of following / professionally stalking him ever
So
since.
young.
Yeah, I think he has good skincare. I don't think he's super, super young. Yeah. So these are my 3 guys that I'm going to talk about today because I have learned and already started implementing some aspects of each of what they've done. So I hope that you can have some good takeaways from this as well. Okay, Sean Cannell. Sean Cannell is awesome. Sean Cannell is this social media YouTube all-star who does a lot with YouTube. That's kind of his big thing. And so he has this technique that he taught us called the 3 Ps of video method. So I'm going to teach you what those 3 Ps are, because what I want you to be able to do is leave here both a little inspired, but also with a couple tangible things that you could implement if you wanted to. So one of the things that I have been hearing over and over again is how awesome YouTube is, how important YouTube is, and YouTube's amazing. And there was a quote somewhere that, I'm gonna mess it up, I'll find it when we get to it. So it's in a different section, but like YouTube was kind of this thread throughout a lot of the sessions that I went to. And how I think it was 51% of homeowners used YouTube at some point during their home search. So like, one of the great things about YouTube, which I think is great, but it's also a little scary, so you have to just focus on the great part, is that it lives forever. So when you do a reel or you do a story, those oftentimes are temporary and they can go away after 24 hours. And there's some comfort in that, right? If it stinks, then you don't have to worry about it forever. The nice thing about YouTube is that it does live forever. And so your content has more opportunities to get touch points and to have stickiness for what you're doing. So he talks a lot about YouTube, and it was really interesting. And so the first P when you're filming something for YouTube is to prepare. This is a really big one, and it sounds stupid, but I was like, oh, those are good things I should think of instead of just not
because a
thinking
lot
of
of the time we've heard, just go out and do it,
Right.
right?
So so in prepare, it's get their attention. And so you're gonna wanna ask the question that the person's already thinking. Teach them something valuable and then tell them what to do next. So as you're preparing before you do a YouTube video, and these videos only should be between 6 and 12 minutes long. These are not like a 2-hour documentary on how to research basements and furnaces. You know, this is like 6 to 12 minutes long. And so the first thing you want to do is prepare. And what he says is a lot of people will use this, and we've all said it, everyone in this room has said it, I know. And on Zoom, Heather, we've all said, I'll start when. Well, I'm gonna start that when I get more information on mortgages, right? Or I'll start that video when I have a better hair day. Or I'll start that video when I like my sweater. Or I'll start that video when I talk to this person, or I'll do that when. And he's like, you have to start before you're ready. He said, ready is a lie. You just have to start. And so I was like, okay, that hit me. I was like, that really resonated with me. So he's like, these are the things that you need to prepare. This is what you do. And then press record. And he said, 1 take, no edits.
Oh my,
Yep.
okay.
1 take, no edits. He said, you'll get better as you do more videos. And too many people spend too much time in the editing, in the, how do we want to do this? Oh, I didn't like how I started that. And what he said is that authenticity is huge. And so even though we in our minds will say things like, I need to be super polished. I can't believe I said mortgage instead of financing. I have to redo the whole thing, right? He said, no, just keep going. He said, people care more about the message than anything else. He said, people care, from an agent perspective, we're like, oh, the lighting isn't good in here. I don't think this is my best angle or whatever. It doesn't matter. You need to make sure they can hear you, that there's video and that there's lighting, so that actually cars, if you're in your car sitting in a parking lot, the lighting that you get from a car is actually really good for video. So he said, people care more about your message than your camera setup. Nobody cares about your camera setup other than you. So he said, one take, no edits. Don't edit it, just send it. And then the third P, post. Share it immediately, just get it out. He said you want to punch fear in the face and just press record.
But this sounds more like Facebook or something.
Or YouTube.
Like a live,
You can do YouTube, just press and check it out.
Yeah, I did. Well, so what I did is I recorded myself. I made a video of myself.
Mhm.
And I saved the video and then I uploaded it to my new YouTube channel. I don't think it has any views yet, other than me. But it will. It's gonna be awesome.
So is it on a topic or it was just like a test?
No, it was on a
Testing
topic.
1, 2, 3.
No, it was not a test. It was, I interviewed Susan and Laura to talk about how family reunion was going so far.
I remember, yeah.
And so then I took that. So here's the other thing, and this is what Rory Vaden talks about a lot, and I didn't talk about it with this. I pulled out something different from him. But what Rory talks about, which I'm trying to do, he talks about taking using one thing and dividing it into parts of other things. So you do your 6-minute YouTube video, right? So Chloe, I'm gonna pick on you because I know that you've done videos with Jordan and Kathleen and Andrew. So let's say that you do a 6-minute video on mortgages, the different types of mortgages. Great. So you have 6 minutes of content there. What Rory says then, so what Sean would say is post it, get it up, get it out there, get it on your YouTube channel, get it up there. Perfect, great. What Rory would say is take that and break that down. Is there a 1-minute clip that you could put on Instagram for Reels? Not something different, not something new. Is there a 1-minute clip? Can you make a, on Canva, can you make a cute graphic and put it on your Instagram post? Can you tie and have these kind of nuggets that then lead to, for more content, follow this video? Instead of, because I think, at least in my mind, before I heard him say that, maybe this is on me, but in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I gotta do a Instagram reel, I have to find a quote to put, I have to do a video on YouTube, I have to do all these things. I don't have time, I don't have content, I don't know what I'm doing. But if you start big, you can chunk it down to the smalls. And I was like, that is really smart. Another thing that Sean said that I thought was really, really smart, because I'm kind of obsessed with him now, in a really nice way. He said, and I would encourage you all to think about this, the biggest problem that we have in 2025, anyone have any guesses?
Ourselves.
Anyone else?
2025. Just lots of information out there.
The biggest problem in 2025 is distraction.
And what did he mean by that?
He meant, and we're gonna talk about this in a little bit. But what he meant by that is that there's so many things coming at us all the time. There's so many shiny objects. And the biggest problem that we have is the distractions. It's the text messages that you got since we've been in here. It's the people walking by saying, oh shoot, I was gonna talk to Emily about that. I'll just grab her later. It's the distractions that pull us away from our one task and the one thing that we should be working. Someone else says it later, so I'll just, it's like the thing I'm actually ending with, but I'll share it now. Until you accomplish your next priority, everything else is a distraction.
I think he also had made mention about asking yourself, is the distraction or excuse serving you? And how will it help you?
Yep. That's well.
And some of it is counterintuitive to what we feel we need to do as realtors.
Sure.
We're supposed to be always available. We're supposed to be always cognizant of everything, always aware of who we might make a client. And that's just part of our life within the column of real estate. And if that, you then take that and you apply that thinking to everything else. Everyone has ADHD,
Sure.
everybody does.
Lots of distractions everywhere.
Yep.
Yep. So those were some of my takeaways from Sean. The 3 Ps and you know, people care more about your message than your camera setup. Just do it. Think about what you're gonna do. Have bullet points, have a plan. You know, he talked a little bit, like, what are some good topics to talk about if you have a real estate channel? Well, okay, maybe you wanna have a video that says renting or buying, which is smarter in 2025. Okay, great. How could we make that better though?
For me, it would be, we just recently talked to an investment guy and we rolled from an old employer into the new employer's 401k plan or Roth. And while we were doing that, part of the reason we were doing that was passing credit card debt. And then that kept going and we talked about, we were looking at moving and buying and he looked at us and he said, given your particular situation, I don't know that I would have you buy. And so what comes to mind is ask your question again, so I answer it correctly.
Which is smarter in 2025, renting or buying?
So I could use myself as an example of, it depends on who you are. It really does, and what's your financial situation, and how many years you have left to live, and where you live. There's so many things that have to do it.
Absolutely. I think I completely agree with that. I think it depends. As far as creating a video goes, wouldn't a more powerful video, as we talk about real estate being hyper local, be renting or buying in Canandaigua, New York, which is smarter in 2025?
Getting that specific.
That's specific, renting or buying in Ontario County, New York, which in 2025, which is smarter. You can talk about inventory, you can talk about rents, you can talk about places to live, you can talk about so many different things, right?
Yeah.
But you want, if people are on YouTube and are searching, you want to think, what would they search for?
I've got a specific question.
Yeah, they wanna know what it's like in Canandaigua, or what it's like in Penfield, or what it's like in Fairport.
Right.
So that was my takeaways from Sean.
Now, can I ask a question about YouTube?
Yeah, I know, yes, you can.
Okay,
I
so
can't guarantee the answer, but yes, you can ask.
the YouTube that I've seen have been a lot about how-tos, a lot of how-tos. And not just a person speaking. There's been other, like, video in the video and stuff like that. That to me, sounds like that part could be really hard. Doing like a video of a YouTube of you doing this, this presentation is different Did he get into any of those things?
Just do it.
Just do it.
You'll get better. You'll get better. You'll get more sophisticated. You'll be able to have videos and videos. You'll be able to do all those things. Don't let that end goal stop you from what you can do today. Just start it. That's what he would say. Yeah. Which I thought was great. I was like, because I agree, we all see the finished product. But if you go back, there's someone that you can look up. I'll give you a homework assignment. If I can find his name. I'll write it on the dry erase board. Sorry, Joe. There's an agent whose name is, oh, come on.
Of those workers. Well done.
That's morbid, Chloe. Anton Stetner. Stetner. He's a realtor. He's in Washington State. And he has grown his viewership. I think he's been doing this 2 years. I might be wrong on that.
The YouTube or the realty?
YouTube. He has grown it to 250,000 viewers monthly. And I believe what he did, what he did was he said, I'm going to do, I think this was 2 years ago. 1 video a day, every single day for 6 months. He got better. He got refined. And the nice thing from our perspective, you can go on YouTube and you can see that very first video. And Sean showed part of it, and it's pretty crappy. It's not great. But he did it, and it got better, and then it got better, and it got better. So, you gotta start somewhere. I would not wait until you are a whiz at putting videos in and you know, editing and adding music over top and doing this and just gotta start.
Hey,
That's-
Kim.
Yes, Heather.
So if people are interested, there's a book that Sean wrote with Benji Travis, and it's called YouTube Secrets.
Yes.
And that's,
I read that yet, but I heard it is good.
Where do you get
yeah,
it?
you could get it on Amazon. It's like $14.
Hi Jenny, I see that you joined us. Who, Kimberly? No, okay. Okay, moving along. Jay Bear, has anyone heard of Jay? Jay has written a couple great books. He has written, what is the book that I read about him, right? He's written a lot of great books. I'm gonna leave it at that. Chloe, can you Google him and tell me what he's written? Considering I can't think of it right now. But he has written, I read one of them, it's on my nightstand, I meant to bring it in, but, we had a weird morning.
Hug your haters.
Hug Your Haters. That's not the one I read,
Okay. Utility,
no,
the Now Revolution.
no, it's a pink cover.
Talk Triggers.
Yes, Talk Triggers, that's what I read, very good. Hug Your Haters is great, what it says is, the premise behind it is, obviously, ways to connect with people who may not necessarily gravitate towards you. So what Jay says is this, what Jay says is, one of our challenges is that clients think that all agents are the same. And that clients think that we're all interchangeable. So it's up to us to figure out what we can do to counter that assumption. So as we think about expectations, how do we exceed the client experience? I know some of you were at, the stakeholders meeting last week, and, Susan gave a little brief example about Disney World. And, if you go to, they did an experiment where they asked people, they told people, these participants, that they were gonna contact them at several random points throughout the day. And they were gonna ask them to rate their experience at Disney World based on their current experience, 1 to 10. They had to recall. So the first, the first thing they got the kids and they were walking through the door of Magic Kingdom, and Cinderella's castle is right in front, and you've got, the barbershop quartet over to the side, and the family would get a text saying, what's on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your experience? And they say, oh, it's an 8, this is amazing. And then they go to get in line for something, right? And as we all know, those lines at Disney are not quick. So they go and they'd be standing there, they're hungry, maybe they had breakfast at the hotel, but they're hungry at this point. And so they then get a text, like, how's your experience? They say, oh, I'm 4, that sucks. Okay, so then they send then you go through the ride and everything's great, and then you go to lunch. Maybe you do a character lunch, and you got the picture with the kids and with Mickey Mouse and everyone's there. And they happen to send a text, and you're like, oh my god, 10 out of 10. This is like, this is the moment, right?
Right.
This is why we paid $10,000 to come here. And then it's 2 o'clock, and the kids are like, over it, tired, it's hot, you don't know what you're doing. So they send a text, and they're like, how's it going? How's your experience? They're like, 4, it's terrible. And so as you kind of go throughout the day, there's highs and there's lows. And so overall, if you actually averaged what the actual average is, I think it comes up to about a 6.5. But if you were to ask those people, how was your trip to Disney? Let me show you this picture right in front of Cinderella's castle. We got the ears with the name on the back, they were so cute. You don't say like, the lines are terrible. It's 100 degrees. I couldn't find the bathroom, right? You pick the high points. And so if you average it out, it's usually about a 6.5. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe if you ask them what it is, it's like a 7.5. If you had to average all of the things from your day, what would you think your experience is? 7.5. But if you actually took the data, it's lower. And so what that says to me is the highs are really high. And we have a lot of opportunities as real estate agents to create really high highs. And there's going to be some lows. Disney World is in one of the hottest places ever. It's hot, it's humid, it's water walking. But at the end of the day, people are still going because of those highs. And so if you exceed the expectations so much and so frequently that your clients have of what a real estate agent does, the price and the perfection are not required. You don't have to be perfect. It's not having a flawless transaction without any hiccups. That's not it. It's how do you handle those hiccups, and how do you surprise and delight them throughout the way? Because when you surprise and delight them, what Jay says is you then buy the benefit of the doubt. Most efforts to improve experiences fail because we think too big. So when you think about how can I improve this client's experience, think smaller. Think really small. So there's 3 ways that he says we can improve our client's experience. The first way is in being quick. We care more about time now more than ever. Time's the only equalizer. How many people have seen that meme that says Beyonce also has 24 hours in a day? Right? We all have 24 hours in a day. It's the only equalizer. Gary Keller, 24 hours. Kim Russell, 24 hours. And so if we think about it, Clients see speed as caring about them. And they see responsiveness as respect. And then he said this and it kind of stopped me in my tracks. Give your clients time, they will give you money. Cost your clients time and it will cost you money. Clear. Close the uncertainty gap. Said communication creates clients, it also loses them. If there is uncertainty, how long should this take? When should we hear back? Anticipate those questions, close that gap. There was a company, I don't remember which one, maybe if I read one of the other books, it would tell me. But the company, it had customer reviews and it was not, they thought that the customers liked them and that things were going well. The customer reviews actually were not the numerical amounts, the numerical amounts were not where they thought it would be. And what it turned out is that the customers didn't remember getting the one email saying your package is on the way in 2 weeks. Or they didn't remember that they said, you need to provide your own batteries for it, or whatever it was. And so all this company did was they took the same emails and they sent them twice. They sent the same information twice. 2 opportunities for it to hit. The complaints went drastically down. Double the communication, decrease the complaints. If you feel like and this is my new line I'm gonna use every Monday night in coaching. If you feel like you're communicating too much, it's probably just the right amount for them. Think about how many other things people have going on. The number one, what was it that we just said? What's the number one challenge in 2025? Distraction. I don't remember when LL Bean says that my package is coming in. I just know I don't have it. It seems like I ordered it a long time ago. But if I got another email saying, hey, it's coming Thursday, I'd probably relax a little. Even though LL Bean's saying I sent you a message every single day, what's the matter with you? Answer the question before they ask. Anticipate what they're gonna say. And then the third thing, kind. So you have quick, you have clear, and then you have kind. In the past, empathy was just called doing business. But we're now in an empathy deficit. And on one hand, that makes me really sad because I try to be a very empathetic person. And I cry when I see the parents of Olympians crying, right? So for me, I see it as sad. Jay Baer says, shift that, it's a business opportunity. Lean into it because businesses aren't doing this anymore. If you over-deliver in kindness, it stands out now more than ever. Empathy doesn't require exceptional effort, yet it yields the most exceptional results. Has anyone used the company Chewy before?
Yes.
Has anyone had a pet pass away while they have been using Chewy?
No.
So they do different things. Right now, what they do is so it's on auto deliver because dogs usually eat the same amount all the time, right? So if you cancel your Chewy delivery with them, say, I'm sorry, Fido passed me by. What will happen is they'll contact and say, we just got this package, we don't need it anymore. They'll say, we are so sorry. So why don't you donate that to a local humane society? It's fine, don't return it, we'll credit you back. And then they have, I wanna make sure I have the right number. They have. 1,011 freelance oil painters. And they will go through your Facebook and find a picture of your pet. And they will have an oil painter paint a picture of your pet and send it to you. When they first started out, they used to send flowers, sympathy flowers, condolences. Right now, they're doing the paintings. If that doesn't lean into kindness and empathy, I don't know what does. Chewy is not the cheapest out there. But they have a very loyal fan base. So Jay says, one of the things that you should, his challenge, his homework to us, which I have not done yet, I'll be honest, is to design your 9. And so what he says with all of these is, you don't have to drastically redo everything. But try to do 15% better in each of these categories. So for quick, what could you start doing? What could you stop doing, and what could you just modify and change? For clear, what could you start, what could you stop, and what could you change? And for kindness, what could you start, what could you stop, and what could you change? And so his homework to us was to think of design your 9 with, again, not thinking too big, not thinking I'm going to have an oil painter that I hire who is going to oil paint pictures of people's houses every time we move. Like, take it down a notch. What's something small you can do for each of these that gets you 15% more from 15% better? Because what he said, and it's true, I think about myself with other businesses, and this is very true. And this is a hard reality to hear, but what got you here today will not keep you here next year. Because client expectations increase every single year. So we have to constantly be doing a little bit better. And it doesn't have to be throwing the baby out with the bathwater different. But just some small changes along the way. Abbreviated multipliers. We all want more time. We don't have more time. So how can we use our time better? How can we use this concept of multipliers? So what he says is peace is the new profit. There's a huge advantage into having peace. And so as he talks about decision making, I'm sure we've all heard about Stephen Covey. And his is a very two-dimensional way of thinking. Oops. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's weird. It printed differently on mine. But that's the same thing. What he talks about is you can make decisions based on 2 things. Important and urgent. Is it important or is it urgent? Who knows the difference between importance and urgency?
Think of urgency as almost being life-threatening.
How soon does it matter? Yep. And important is how much does it matter? Something can be very urgent but not important. Charlie may need to go to the bathroom, and that may be urgent. But that's not super important in the grand, as you look at your day. So this used to be how people used to make a lot of decisions. Back in the 1950s, you had this two-dimensional kind of grid, right? Is it urgent and not important? Is it not important and not urgent? Is it, right? And so you kind of put things in boxes and you say, okay, that's how I'm gonna make decisions. And what Rory says is, that's nice, but it doesn't create any more time. You're just reshuffling around the tasks that need to get done. So Rory has this new era of thinking, and he includes multipliers, and through that, he includes significance. And so what he says is, and he wrote the book 30x is easier than 10x, I think, no, that's not it. Can you look up Rory's latest book? I'm sorry. So what he looks at is significance. And so he then has this concept of multipliers that we're gonna talk about. And so you still have the important, how much does it matter? And you still have the urgent, how soon does it matter? But the significance, how long does it matter? So what he says, and it's kind of a cube, which I can't draw because I was a sociology major, but you have importance here, which is the same as before, and you have urgency here. And so what he says is what slices through is significance. So it's another layer or another level. And so what he says is, you need to be able to, you can multiply your time by giving emotional permission to spend time on things today that will give you more time tomorrow.
Well, that relates back to his idea of do a 6-minute thing and then find ways to use it in shorter versions.
Yes. What's the name of his new book, Chloe?
Procrastinate on purpose, five
Yes.
missions to multiply your time.
Yes, Procrastinate on Purpose.
Really.
And I actually have a link to something. A free chapter in it, a free workbook for it, something. So if you want that, I will send that out via email.
I think that's one of the books Susan's talked about in our stakeholders.
Yes. Yeah, she
It
kind of
might
stole
be
my
that
thunder. So here's the 30x rule. I mean, it requires a little math, so stick with me. So here's what it says. Let's say you have a task that takes 5 minutes a day to do. If you take that task at 5 minutes a day, and let's say you do that 30, let's say that you're going to train someone to do it. In order to train them properly, it's gonna take 30 times. So that's gonna take 150 minutes of training to another person. 150 minutes of training to someone else to do something that costs you 5 minutes a day. And I think a lot of people would look at that and say, nope, not doing that, that's stupid. I would. How many 5-minute tasks a day do we all do? Like 500, right? We're all women. We're doing a ton. Or you can keep doing it the way that you've been doing it. And say you're still 5 minutes a day, and let's say that you do that over 250 work days out of the year. It's gonna cost you 1,250 minutes a year.
Quite a savings if you did the other.
Savings of 1,100 minutes. And so then if you take that and you divide it by 150 minutes, you have 733% return on time investment, ROTI.
Don't go off this side.
Okay.
Did he by any chance talk about how that can be
applied in real estate, like an example?
He did not, but I can think of, um,
I thought of calls.
say more.
What to say? I don't know, I just instantly thought of like, takes 5 minutes a day probably to do the calls you should be doing,
Mhm.
the lead generation.
At least.
Yeah. If you only did 5, I don't know, that was just my quick thought.
So to have a inside sales agent making your phone calls for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or let's say something that you do is you send an email to everyone in your database when it's their birthday. And so let's say that you currently text everyone, and so that requires you to go on Facebook, see when their birthday is, then get out of Facebook, go into your text messages, find a text, pick out a really cute little graphic and send it to them that says happy birthday, 3-4 minutes maybe. Or you can create a smart plan that does that for you. For me, I think of things like putting up signs. When I have a listing, I don't put up my own signs. I have someone else do that. It's leverage, whether it's training or other things. And it's not just to get the time back, it's what can you do with the time once you get it back, right? And this isn't giving up everything. But this is giving up some things. Can I just move it off this slide? And what he says is 80% done by someone else is always better than 100% done by you. And he says that because that 80% is gonna always increase. They're gonna get better as they do it. Permission of imperfection. Tough.
I think about my daughter who really struggles to have her husband load the dishwasher, right? To the point where a lot of times she'll redo it,
Yep.
right?
I had a friend like that with laundry.
But if she
Couldn't
was
fold
just,
it right.
right, but if she was just willing for it to be imperfect, she would get 15 minutes back a day.
And I would say probably a good peace of mind back as well.
Peace of mind, her husband would feel better, blah, 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 right? And that's peaceful. When you talk about peace.
Yes. And what that does then is it takes the priority that you have and you protect the priority. And you protect that from the possibility of distraction. And that's where that, until you accomplish your next priority, everything is a distraction. Those of you who have unfortunately heard me complain over the last month or so, I'm working on these videos for the coaching program. And it's gonna be great when it's done. It's gonna be so great. And then I go to family reunion and I have a notebook of ideas. These ideas are so much more fun than videos. I do not want to do videos. I want to talk about Rory Vaden all day, and I want to do these things, and I have this, and I want to do this with new agents, and I want to recruit this way. But I haven't finished my next priority. I have an opportunity tomorrow to go to a college fair. 500 students. And I can recruit them to come to Keller Williams. That's not my priority at the moment. So I'm going through some struggles at the moment.
Can somebody else do your video for you tomorrow so you could go?
I have 30 videos to do. And I want them done this week.
I see, okay.
How many have you got done?
Oh, I have 30 left to do.
Oh,
I've probably,
So. The, job fair doesn't come up all the time.
No.
Couldn't that, like, take
It could.
precedence over
Oh,
the video
talk
for
about
that
significance,
day?
right?
Oh, significance.
It
there you
could.
go.
Well, no, but I'm saying you could be right, because
Yeah.
maybe if you're using the three-dimensional thinking,
Right,
maybe the significance of it matters, I don't know.
yeah.
I'll be very vulnerable in this group. Let me check to see.
So
what's
you'd
on
be
my-
very vulnerable also when it comes up to, what it is that is distracting you because you like it so much more, even though it may not be your priority.
I can convince myself that anything is really significant.
Yeah, I know.
And truth be told, I wanted these done by the end of January. And here I am. So how, and it's the same for all of us. I share this to practice some vulnerability. But also, we're all in this. I'll do lead gen tomorrow. I'm gonna do it today, I'm not gonna call people today. I'm gonna make that post tomorrow, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, it doesn't really matter, I'll set up those smart plans later, I'll do this later, right? But if, it's hard when you have multiple priorities. And what's a distraction versus what's a new opportunity, right? Like, there's spins you can make on everything. I wanna keep us to an hour, and I know we're a couple minutes after 1. My key points, if I had to pull one key point away from each of these, from Sean, the biggest problem in 2025 is distraction. From Jay, empathy doesn't require exceptional effort, yet it yields the most exceptional results. And from Rory, until you accomplish your next priority, everything is a distraction. Those are some of my key takeaways from family reunion. I hope you enjoyed it. On top of all this, of course, we had lots of laughter and lots of fun and lots of walking and some sunshine at the end and made some good memories and all those kinds of things. But when I think about the content, this is what sticks and resonates with me. So I hope this was helpful for you.
Thank
You're welcome. Thanks for coming to my Kim talk. Heather, Jenny, any comments or questions or anything before I turn Zoom off?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Your hair looks great today, Jenny.
Oh, thank you. Cut it.
You're welcome. Oh, it's good. I like it.
Thank
Good
you.
job.